Chosen one, listen closely, because what is happening right now is not ordinary. You did not stumble onto this message by chance. This very moment has been selected by heaven as a divine appointment, a holy break in your timeline, because you are about to make a supernatural breakthrough. Anointed one, the veil is lifting, the air around you is changing, and the Creator is awakening the gift that could make you a billionaire, have kingdom power, and change the world. This is proof from heaven that you were meant to do more, that you are great, and that you are ready for a transfer of wealth and knowledge that no system on earth can deny. As it says in Jeremiah 29:11, God's plans for your life are ones of wealth, hope, and a future full of possibilities. Chosen one, there is no emotion in the way you feel. Yes, it is activation. Your fate is calling your name. The gift you were born to unlock is being lit on fire by God's breath. Take a moment to relax and let this truth sink in. You are entering a time when doors will open on their own. Resources will appear without you having to work for them, and success will come to you by divine order. This is the holy start of your life. You, the chosen one, will reach a point in your life when heaven moves in a little closer and things start to change in ways you can feel but not yet explain. And right now, where you are, is that exact moment. Every breath you take right now is part of a divine plan to bring you closer to the purpose you were born to carry. You may not have known this before. I want your whole being to hear this, not just your ears. This message is not something you are reading without thinking. You were called here at just the right time and are being led by a hand that has been shaping your path since before you even knew you were chosen. When I talk about what heaven has planned for you, I'm not just talking from a theory. I'm talking from the many times I've seen God change my own path. Often during times that felt like they were ending, but turned out to be times of becoming. During my own journey, there were times when I wondered why some doors shut so firmly, why some people left so quickly, and why chances passed me by even when I was doing everything right. I didn't realize these losses until much later. They were actually safeguards, detours, and improvements meant to get me ready for things I couldn't handle with a spirit that hadn't been tested. That's something you, chosen one, know all too well. You've been through times that stretched you, times that brought you to your knees, and times that made you wonder if you were really seen. That being said, you are still standing, breathing, and carrying a fire that won't go out. That alone is proof that God is keeping things safe. Nothing normal can stand up to that much pressure. A diamond isn't made in comfort, and neither are destinies. You've felt it in the quiet parts of your life, the pull toward something bigger, the knowing that your life isn't meant to go in the same direction as everyone else's. When no one saw what you saw, or when things seemed to go against the promise, something inside you kept telling you, there is more. You can feel God's touch on your spirit when you know that. It's the whisper of your calling telling you that you were made to make an impact and have an effect on people far beyond what your current surroundings may show. If you're being honest, you've always known that you were unique, not better than other people, but different, with feelings, thoughts, and dreams that didn't fit the places you were put. Chosen one, your path wasn't picked at random. The hard times you went through were not punishments. They were the holy place where someone who was meant to carry weight, authority, and blessing would train. I've been around long enough to know that God doesn't put heavy responsibilities on people who aren't ready for them. Every setback you've had in life has made you a better person who can handle plenty without losing who they are, rise without becoming cocky, and lead without losing compassion. The mark of the anointed is the strength you carry and your ability to get back up when everything around you falls apart. It's important that you feel the change in your spirit as you listen. You are about to enter a time when divine alignment is the norm. Chances will start to come your way. You will start to feel blessed. You'll have ideas that are so clear, it's almost supernatural. This isn't making things up. This is turning on. When heaven opens a door, it's not just a chance to do something. It's also a spiritual release. You are entering a world where wealth is more than just money. It's also spiritual, emotional, and meaningful. A place where your gifts are no longer sleeping, but are instead awakened, sharpened, and raised to have an impact. Sometimes a new season seems too big for you. I know how you feel. A time when the call is stronger than your confidence. But listen to me. Heaven never calls people who are ready. It gets the called ready. You have been preparing for years now, but haven't been aware of it. Every battle taught you how to be disciplined. Every breakup taught you how to be smart. Every wait taught you to be patient. And every win, no matter how small, meant that you were getting ready for bigger things. Take a deep breath, chosen one, because this is the moment when things will change. You're not going into a normal chapter. As you move forward, your purpose, identity, and inheritance start to come together in a divine way. You're not behind. You're on time. And the same God who spoke to your spirit in the darkest times is getting ready to show you what all of that shaping was for. What's coming next will wake up parts of you that have been sleeping until this very moment. Chosen one, as you learn more about what's going on, I want you to understand something that most people never fully get. It takes time for divine elevation to show up all at once. It comes out in layers, and each one shows you a new part of who you are and what God has put inside you. Even though you can't see the whole picture yet, the fact that you are here listening, receiving, and feeling the stirring in your spirit is proof that something supernatural has begun to open. The gifts you carry have been growing below the surface, waiting for the time when your spirit and your circumstances are in sync with God's plan. Now is that time. Fate doesn't yell, it whispers. It doesn't ask, it invites. Right now, you are being asked to stand up. I remember times in my own life when I felt a strange restlessness that wasn't because I wasn't happy, but because I was growing spiritually. It was like putting on clothes that don't fit anyway. The places I used to be able to handle suddenly felt small. Conversations that used to interest me no longer fed me. I felt like I was being pulled towards something bigger, but I couldn't explain it to anyone. You, the chosen one, have felt this too. Know that it's not frustration, it's change. It shows that you're no longer the person you used to be. Heaven is telling you that a new mantle is being put on you. Your friends and family were not meant to know what God was working on behind the scenes, which is why you sometimes felt misunderstood. The journey of the one who has been chosen is rarely easy. There are times when you have to walk by yourself, not because no one has left you, but because being alone is where revelations are born. You can hear God's voice better when you're by yourself. You become aware of what fits and doesn't fit in your life. You learn to separate who you are from what other people think you should be. You start to understand that your worth is not based on praise, acceptance, or applause, but on the divine mark that was put on your soul before you came into this world. Those times have not made you weaker, they have made you stronger. Chosen one, your life is not just a bunch of random events. Each chapter served a purpose. Because you are spiritually important, you went through spiritual warfare. People fought you because what you carry threatens the darkness. You have been put to the test because heaven wants to give you power, responsibility, and plenty, which requires you to be spiritually mature. A lot of people want to be high, but only a few are built to stay there. You are one of them. Because of this, your path has required more faith, strength, and endurance than most. Not like most people. You have been picked. There is both spiritual and material wealth linked to your name. This wealth is more than just money. The things that will lead you to the wealth that heaven has planned for you are wisdom, creativity, resilience, influence, and supernatural insight. When I talk about the chance of becoming a billionaire, I'm not just talking about money. I mean the size of your calling, the impact you will have, and the scope of your job. Billionaire potential is the ability to change lives, the atmosphere, and the future, not just with money, but also with purpose. This is why you've always wanted more. You were never meant to live a small life. You may have wondered why some doors would open for other people, but not for you. Why chances passed you by, and you were behind while others moved ahead. Listen carefully. Delays in the life of the chosen are not turns down. They are planned breaks that are meant to protect what is holy in you. You would have been sucked in if some doors had opened earlier. Some people would have drained your spirit if they stayed in your circle. If some chances had come up, they would have stuck you in places where you couldn't follow your calling. Heaven has been watching out for you to arrive at the right time, place, and level. Picked. 1. Now is the time of year when things that were hidden will start to come out. The strength you built up in quiet places will now work to your benefit. You will now have a clear picture of the gifts you were questioning. The dreams you buried will come back to you with more power, and the favor that seemed far away will start to wrap around you like a shield. You are not stepping into luck. You are stepping into the right place. You need to start seeing yourself the way heaven does, as a vessel of divine purpose, a bearer of supernatural insight, a guardian of spiritual and material wealth, and a leader whose character has been shaped by hardship, vision, and unwavering endurance. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers. You are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. As you allow this truth to enter your spirit, you will start to notice divine synchronicities. Times when everything seems to be just right. Chances seem like they were made just for you. And meetings seem like they were sent from heaven. These are not just random events. They prove something. You have been chosen, and the unlocking has already begun. Respectfully, bravely, and with hope, step forward. Heaven does more than just watch over your journey, being a partner in it with you. The next change won't be small either. It's going to be huge. You have been chosen, and as you continue on this sacred path, I want you to hear the deep truth that is starting to whisper in your spirit. The change you feel is not just in your head. There is a quiet thunder of destiny waking up inside you. This has been building up over the course of your life. Even the seasons that felt like loss, confusion, or waiting were building the spiritual foundations for what is now coming into being. This is the point in your journey where heaven is no longer getting ready for you from afar. Heaven is now actively following your steps, lining up people, events, and chances in a way that can only be done by divine orchestration. And if you stop and look back, you will see that God was always a part of your story, even when you thought you were by yourself. There was a time in my life when everything went wrong at once. I wasn't sure if I had heard God right, if I had interpreted the signs wrong, or if my dreams were too impossible to come true. Still, something amazing was going on below the surface of the silence and uncertainty. Things were moving around that I couldn't see. I was getting stronger in ways I didn't know I needed them. And I was becoming clearer in ways I wouldn't understand until much later. This is exactly what has been going on in your life, chosen one. What seemed like a lack of progress was actually planning. What felt like being left behind was actually moving. You were being pulled away from things that wouldn't help your calling, so that you could be rooted in things that would. You need to know that your calling is different from other people's callings. There has always been something supernatural about your journey, even before you knew how to talk about it. Your intuition has led you, unseen hands have kept you safe, and impressions that wouldn't leave your spirit until you followed them. Because you are the anointed one, someone who has been given a divine compass that will not let you settle for a life that goes against your destiny. You might not always be sure of yourself, but heaven has always been sure of you. There are times when I think about how many times I thought something was the end when it turned out to be a doorway. It's also true for you. The things that let you down were not the end of the story. They were needed changes of direction. People who broke up with their partners were not failures. They were releases from God. The missed chances were not punishments. They kept people safe. There are some paths that were never meant to hold your fate. Some people were never meant to see you rise. And some seasons had to end so that God's timing could be fully used in the beginning of new ones. Chosen one, the cloak you wear is heavy. This is the robe of someone who is called to change nations, atmospheres, bring healing, wisdom, and spiritual alignment to a world that needs it very much. The billionaire potential that has been spoken over your life has nothing to do with glitz or ego. It has everything to do with purpose. You will be given wealth by heaven so that you can use it to build, restore, uplift, and show the goodness of God in real ways. You won't get plenty of things for nothing. You have been refined through hardship, shaped through hidden seasons, humbled through waiting, strengthened through silence, and raised through obedience. This is the kind of person that you will be carrying abundance for. You've been through all of these. You've walked through deserts and valleys where your spirit was the only thing that kept you going. You've been through battles that no one else really understood. If you've ever prayed, only God could hear them. But now you're still open, ready to listen, and longing for what God has promised to be fully fulfilled. You are qualified because you are willing to do it. Chosen one, you are about to enter a time when you will be more spiritually sensitive. There will be sudden insights, clear instructions, and ideas that are perfectly timed according to God. This is because heaven is starting to show you how to get to the next level as you enter this supernatural change. Resources will no longer be what stops you. No longer will wisdom be spread out. Things will no longer look cloudy. When you start to work from this place of clarity, it can only be called divine. In my own life, I've seen how one moment from God can do more than years of hard work. You can change the whole course of your journey with just one open door. What was hidden can come out in one conversation. One chance can change everything about your finances. And God can change everything with just a whisper. You are now moving into that kind of season, the one where things happen out of the blue, never before seen or supernatural. But before you start this climb, I want you to remember something very important. You didn't get to where you are now by going through hard times. It came from the nights you had doubts, but chose to have faith anyway. It came from times when you felt like no one could see you, but you kept loving other people. There were times when you had nothing left, but still said, "God, I trust you." That kind of spirit is heard in heaven. That kind of toughness is admired in heaven. You, the chosen one, are on the edge of your fate, not the idea of fate, but how it shows up in real life. You're not under pressure when you feel weight. It's the growth of your spiritual abilities. The shaking you feel is not anxiety. Yes, it is activation. The dreams that keep coming back to you are not just fantasies. They are prophecies coming true again. Be brave. Raise your head. Keep your heart steady. What's next will not only make your life different, it will also show you why your life was fought so hard for. You have been chosen, and as this revelation continues to unfold, you must understand that this is a season like no other you have known. It's not just a new chapter or a small change. This is a divine resetting of your whole destiny. At this very moment, heaven is not just making things work out for you. Heaven is aligning the deepest parts of you, getting each part of who you are ready to rise. When you look back on your journey, you might see moments that don't fit together, events that don't make sense, and painful detours. However, in the spiritual world, each of those times was part of a clear and deliberate plan. Some of the problems that used to make you doubt yourself are now proof that you were picked for a very important job. Because of your calling, you had to learn to stand tall when others fell, to see hope where others saw death, and to trust the unseen, even when everything you saw seemed to go against the promise. That's the sign of someone with a divine purpose. I can remember times in my own life when everything seemed strange. It felt like I had grown out of the versions of myself that other people thought I would stay in. The feeling of change didn't come from reason or circumstance, but from a spiritual stirring that wouldn't let me stay in my comfort zone. It felt like I was being pushed by an invisible current toward a future I couldn't quite describe yet. If you felt that same pull, chosen one, know that it's destiny's voice leading you from who you were to who you are becoming. You've been shedding old skin, letting go of old fears, and outgrowing old places to live, because your life's purpose calls for a new inner structure that can hold spiritual authority, influence, and wealth. As you go through this change, you may notice that some relationships have ended for no clear reason. People who used to understand you now don't feel the same way about you. Talks that used to fill you up now feel empty. These changes are not rejections. They are breaks between God and people. The higher you go, the more voices from heaven that would hurt your faith or take your attention away from your task are blocked. You are being set apart not because you are better than others, but because your calling is pure and needs you to be clear, focused, and emotionally disciplined. For those who have been chosen, being alone is not a punishment, but a call to serve. Every pause has changed the way you hear. Your ability to discern has grown with each pause. Every lonely night has made your spiritual view bigger. Chosen one, your life has a prophetic mark on it. You've been through things were either too planned to be coincidences or too planned to be accidents. The divine interruptions, sudden turns, and even the unexpected breakthroughs you've experienced have been getting you ready for a level of influence that requires maturity, humility, and trust that never wavers. This is why God let you feel broken, so He could make you stronger. This is why doors close quickly, only for better ones to open out of the blue. You have been called to do something extraordinary. So the preparation you have gone through has also been extraordinary. The weight of your goal required that you get better. You might not know it yet, but the supernatural will start to feel like it's normal now that the season has changed. You will notice that ideas come to you before things happen. You will get internal cues that will lead you away from danger or toward chance. You will start to notice divine patterns in the times that things happen around you. This is the start of your spiritual sensitivity awakening, which means your gift is becoming clear. You are being aligned with God's plan, given the tools to make choices that will shape the next 10 years, and given the courage to step into the wealth shift that has been given to you. Heaven isn't just giving you good things. Heaven has faith in you. I remember once having to make a choice that seemed impossible. I was afraid of making the wrong choice, because each choice was important. During that uncertain time, I felt a peace inside that wasn't my own, a clarity that wasn't mine. It led me with confidence in a direction that didn't make sense at the time. Still, months later, That choice led to a door that changed my whole path. Chosen one, you will start to feel the same divine clarity. There will be strong words from your spirit. Your intuition will get stronger, and choices that felt hard before will now feel light, guided, and supported. This is very important because the next level you're going to has responsibilities. This is not just for your own benefit that you are being raised. For the sake of a bigger mission, you are being given more power, resources, and knowledge. Of course, there will be times when this calling feels heavy. But even in those times, you'll feel a strength rising within you, a supernatural endurance that lets you know you're not walking this path alone. You'll start to see how heaven has been with you every step of the way before you even knew it. Chosen one, your potential to become a billionaire is not a dream. It's an important spiritual task. You are being set up by God to build, create, fund, lift, and break generational barriers. Your wealth won't come from wanting more, but from having a plan. Not by striving, but by being in the right place. Heaven's breath on your gifts makes them bigger, your vision clearer, and your influence impossible to ignore. This is why you've always felt like you were meant to be great. You're not after your ego. You are answering fate. Allow this truth to sink deep into your soul as you move forward. Your life will change in many ways as you move into this new season. The old cycles are going to end. The gifts that were hidden will come to light. The divine connections will show up. And the wealth that has been given to your name will start to show up in ways that show God's hand in your journey. Get your heart ready, your spirit in sync, and your ears open for the whispers of guidance that are all around you. Great things are happening, and God has chosen you to carry them out. As you move even deeper into this divine unfolding, chosen one, I want you to know that the change you are going through is not just a change in your circumstances, it is a change in who you are. You are getting more spiritually awake, and it is pulling you toward a destiny that has been waiting for you since the beginning of time. The changes you're going through, the restlessness in your spirit, and the quiet hope in your heart are all signs that heaven is moving you. You might not have all the answers yet, but you can see where you need to go. You are being led to a place in your life where your gifts will be used, where your voice matters, and where your presence changes things in ways you didn't expect. There were times when you didn't know if anything in your life was working. You prayed, pushed, and waited, but the results didn't show how hard you worked. You thought that maybe heaven had forgotten your name at that time. But when I look at your journey, I see something else. I see divine timing keeping you from rising too quickly. I see grace that you can't see taking you away from paths that would have worn you down. I see a loving God cutting back on your life, so that when you do rise, which you will do so with strength, clarity, and hope. Those delays were not turns downs. They were times of preparation meant to make the anointing on your life stronger. Picked one. There's something unique about how you've grown. You've learned to get through hard times that would have broken other people. You have made it through hard times, not perfectly, but with strength. There were days when no one knew you had wounds, but you kept going. Some nights you cried alone because you didn't know how you would get through it. But you got up the next morning. That kind of persistence doesn't just come from being strong. It comes from a hand from God that held you up when you thought you were sinking. You lived through battles that were meant to kill you because your future depended on it. Purpose kept you safe. You might not know it yet, but the hard times you've been through have made you stronger spiritually. You now figure out motives more quickly. You are better able to see divine opportunities. There is a difference between people who come to drain you and those who come to lift you up. These skills were honed through the fire of your experiences. There was no waste. I didn't cry, break up, or be let down at all. The foundation you are standing on now is made up of parts of your story. Chosen one. The level of elevation you're aiming for needs someone who has been tested. And you have been tested many times. But every test did something holy. It took away the things you couldn't take with you. It got rid of the fears, limiting beliefs, and emotional dependencies that used to make you make decisions. And now that those weights are off, you are ready to rise with a rare clarity of purpose. You feel better. You can see better now. Your heart knows more. You are changing into the person you will need in the future. When I think back on my own journey, I remember times when I tried to open doors that wouldn't move. I didn't know why the chances I prayed for didn't seem possible. I found out later that those closed doors were acts of kindness. If they had opened before they were ready, I would have taken on roles that were not right for my personality yet. God wasn't keeping good things from me. He was getting my life ready for the huge responsibility He was about to give me. The same truth is coming out for you. Heaven has been building you up, not punishing your faith. The time you are in now is a time of divine acceleration. Things that used to take years will now happen in months. Paths that were blocked before will suddenly become clear. People who are meant to be in your life will start to show up out of the blue. Ideas that seemed impossible before will now seem doable. This speeding up is not a coincidence. It works when it is aligned. Breakthroughs happen naturally when your spirit, your purpose, and the time are all in line with God's plan. You are entering a different level of clarity. Chosen one. The confusion will go away. The inner conflict will go away. Divine insight will get clearer. You'll start to understand why some things were important, why some people left, and why you were drawn to some dreams, even though they didn't make sense. Everything will start to make sense in the context of your calling as a whole. You'll see that nothing you went through was pointless. Every moment was part of a divine plan to make you a powerful vessel. Another thing is that plenty is starting to flow toward you. This abundance is more than just money, though making more money is part of your destiny. The deeper kind of abundance includes mental growth, emotional peace, spiritual strength, and clear relationships. Having a lot of money is a natural sign of being in alignment. When these kinds of wealth rise within you, you are not being called to go after money by heaven. Heaven wants you to live with purpose, and when you do, money will come to you. You, the chosen one, are now standing on holy ground. What is waking up inside you is not small, normal, or by chance. It's the spark that ignites your divine identity, the unveiling of your supernatural potential, and the start of a life that lives up to the huge calling that was put on you. Stay open, keep an open mind, stay true to God. There are still some great parts of your story to come, but they're coming up fast. When they do, they will show that everything you went through was worth it. As we continue this holy journey into the depths of your calling, chosen one, I want you to feel the weight of what heaven is giving you. At some point, the spiritual work you've been doing for years will start to show itself, showing you the real plan for your life. Right now you are in that time. It's there in every change in your mood. Every time you feel something new pulling at your spirit, and every time your intuition feels stronger than before. These are signs that something supernatural is happening inside of you. You are not only getting ready for a new season, but also for a new identity, a new level of purpose, and a bigger impact. There were times in your life when you felt like no one saw you, didn't notice you, or didn't think much of you. You tried to explain your dreams to people who couldn't understand what you were seeing. You gave people parts of your heart, but they couldn't fully understand your calling. And sometimes you felt alone, not because you didn't have anyone to talk to, but because your spirit was growing beyond the places you used to fit in. I've been through times like that, when it seemed like heaven was silent and nothing seemed to change on the outside, but something inside me wouldn't settle down. I learned that being quiet doesn't mean you're leaving someone. In secret, it's elevation. When you are being moved, heaven often gets quiet. Chosen one, the way your emotions have been stretched shows that you are getting ready for spiritual growth. It's not often that growth comes wrapped in comfort. It shows up when your patience is tested, your character is put to the test, and your unresolved fear is shown. Even though things were hard, you felt a strange strength rising within you, a toughness you didn't know you had. That strength didn't just show up. It grew through all the hard times you went through. Every hard experience made room inside you for more purpose, more wisdom, and more responsibility. You did these things to get ready because the anointing on your life told you to, even though you didn't know it. You are going to understand things in a way that you have never understood them before. Chosen one. Not with your physical eyes, but with your spiritual eyes. You will start to see where you are going. You will see patterns in your life that are like fingerprints from God. You will be drawn to make choices that bring you together. You'll be able to tell which connections are for your good and which ones are just for fun. This clarity is part of the key to unlocking your supernatural. Heaven is organizing your inner world so that you can take more confident steps into the chances that are coming your way outside. It's normal for priorities to change, wants to change, and old goals to fade. You are getting rid of things that don't help your future. Chosen one. Letting go of old emotional burdens is one of the most powerful changes you're going through right now. It was never meant for you to carry that weight. You are not your past disappointments, misunderstandings, betrayals, or delays. They shaped you, but they are not who you are. Heaven is healing you from the inside out because you need to be free to rise. When you're tied down by wounds that drain your energy or memories that make you doubt yourself, you can't rise. Pay attention to the times when peace comes over you, out of the blue. That peace is a sign from heaven that you are being healed, strengthened, and set up for plenty. I know what kind of internal release you are going through right now. There was a time when old hurts and doubts about the future made me feel heavy. I tried to move forward, but I felt tired. When I let God touch those parts of me, I got clarity, courage, and chances that I could not have planned for myself to start coming my way. The way is clear once the heart is healed. Beautiful one, your heart is being healed so that you can carry the weight of what heaven gives you. As you keep moving through this change, divine ideas will come to you more quickly. You might wake up with ideas for solutions you hadn't thought of before, or you might feel suddenly motivated to start something new, build something meaningful, or grow something that seemed impossible at first. This is because the spiritual blocks that were stopping your creativity are falling away. Your inner world is becoming more in line with what heaven wants for your life. You'll quickly notice that your words, decisions, and thoughts have more weight. This is when the leader in you comes out. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Chosen one, really understand this. Being a billionaire isn't just about having a lot of money. It has to do with ability. The ability to lead, the ability to make, the ability to impact. People who are refined enough to hold wealth are drawn to it. You are beginning to become that person. The changes inside you, the spiritual awakenings, and the emotional releases are all getting you ready to hold on to plenty without becoming overwhelmed by it. To handle wealth without losing your humility, and to become famous without losing sight of your purpose. You are getting ready for a life that is very different from the ones you have lived before. A life filled with divine flow, supernatural alignment, prophetic clarity, and plenty that serves a purpose. A life where your gifts work perfectly, your spirit moves with authority, and your destiny unfolds with clear grace. You were chosen, so stay anchored. Stay open. Keep an open mind. Heaven is working deeply inside of you, and soon what's been going on behind your back will show up in miraculous ways. Chosen one, as we move forward in this holy unfolding, to get a better sense of who you are becoming, I want you to get your spirit ready. You're not in the same spiritual landscape that you used to be in. The ground beneath you is moving, but not because it is unstable. It is moving because God is rebuilding it. Heaven is rebuilding the foundations of who you are, what you're here to do, and your future. Everything in your inner life is being adjusted to fit the size of the calling that has been given to you. And even though you might feel tense or uncertain sometimes, I want you to see this for what it is: spiritual growth. Old fears, old limits, and old versions of yourself that can't handle the weight of your anointing are giving way to new ones. You may feel stuck between who you were and who you are becoming at times on your journey right now. It's normal to feel that way. It's the time between seasons, the area spiritually between two doors. You're not stuck. As you go through a transition, it can be hard to know what to expect, because heaven is testing your faith, your abilities, your vision, and your identity. My own life has been through times of change like this, when I felt both excited and uncertain, at peace and uncomfortable. But every time I took a step forward with faith, heaven showed me that the pain was just the birth pangs of a new level. Chosen one, your spirit is opening up to possibilities that didn't seem possible before. The dreams you've had for years are coming back to you, but this time they're not as fantasies, but as tasks. You are beginning to feel drawn to chances that fit your calling, not your past. This is because heaven is making sure that you have access to people, resources, and places that are in line with who you really are. Being around other people this season won't drain you. They will make you feel good. They won't make you feel lost. They will make things clear. They won't take your attention away. They will make you better. These are connections that were meant to be made by heaven long before you knew you needed them. You might notice that you can make better decisions now. You can tell when a conversation has a point. You can tell when a relationship is only temporary and not long-term. You can pick up on small changes in the atmosphere. Your spiritual authority is rising, and this sharper sense is one of the first signs of it. You are learning how to hear the whispers of heaven, even when there is a lot of noise on earth. As your ability to discern grows, your choices will have more weight. You won't move because of stress anymore. You'll move because you want to. No longer will you react, you will answer. That's the way of thinking of someone who will lead and have influence. Chosen one, one of the most amazing changes that is happening inside you right now is that your emotional and spiritual strength is growing. In the past, setbacks might have made you give up, but now you get back on track faster. You get better faster. You see problems in a different way. The question you're asking now is, what is this preparing me for? instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" That change in point of view is a sign of divine maturity. It means that your identity is no longer based on outside circumstances, but on how well you're living out your calling. There was a time when I had to choose between fear and faith because of a problem that seemed completely out of my hands. I struggled with doubt until I understood that the challenge wasn't meant to break me, but to show me who I was. My strengths and creativity were brought to light in ways I didn't know they were there. When I think back, I can see that what happened was a divine way to prepare me for the responsibilities I now have. You will see the same truth when you look back on this season, Chosen One. Being under a lot of stress right now doesn't mean you've lost. This is proof that God is shaping you into a leader. Your outside world will change as your inner world does. From now on, doors that have been shut for years will be easy to open. Chances that seemed impossible will all of a sudden be within reach. You will be drawn into conversations, rooms, and places that seemed out of reach at first. This is not a mistake. It is a sign from God. If heaven wants to raise you up, nothing can stop the flow of good luck, blessings, and promotions that come after. You are also being prepared for wealth, not just money, but also wealth of mind, vision, power, and spirit. Even though your money will grow, it's your inner wealth that will make sure you can keep what heaven gives you. The idea that you could become a billionaire is not a metaphor. It's the result of a divine assignment that needs a lot of strength, creativity, and bravery. You are being changed into someone who can handle plenty without becoming too full of it. You have been chosen, so lean into this change. Do not rush. Don't fight it. Accept every change, every push, and every whisper of advice. Heaven is building a life for you that will make it clear that God is involved. As this inner awakening gets stronger, the outer manifestations will happen quickly, clearly, and without a doubt. You are getting ready for something really cool. Believe in the process. Believe in the timing. Trust the God who has always been with you. As you continue to go through this change, Chosen One, I want you to be aware of how heaven is starting to change the landscape of your inner life in a way that is both gentle and powerful. What's going on inside you is not small. It's not sneaky. It's not a mistake. This is a spiritual recalibration that affects everything about you, your beliefs, your emotions, your identity, your vision, and even how you think about the past. At times, this deep inner work may feel hard, but it's a sign that heaven is getting you ready for a huge growth. You are not being pushed too far. What's coming has the weight of destiny on it, and you are being stretched to make room for it. Now and then, you might feel a sudden burst of inspiration or a sense of what's possible. At other times, you might feel a light weight as old versions of yourself fall away. These changes are not signs of being confused. They show that your spiritual life is changing. Before taking you to a higher dimension, heaven first makes you stronger on the inside. Old ways of thinking that used to help you don't seem to be useful anymore. The way you used to feel doesn't feel natural anymore. A lot of your old dreams may start to change into something better that fits with your divine purpose. You are being changed into someone who can have power without being corrupt, influence without being cocky, and plenty without losing their heart or humility. Chosen one, you have entered a time when heaven is making you more sure of who you are. For too long, other people, your family, your culture, society, past relationships, or even your own fears put labels and expectations on you. But those labels are being taken off now. You are beginning to see yourself as you really are, chosen, anointed, set apart, and destined to do great things. It takes some time to get this clear. It comes in waves. It can show up in quiet times when you least expect it. It can show up in the form of challenges that make you see your strengths. It sometimes shows up in the form of chances that show you what you can do. I remember a time in my own journey when I didn't think I knew who I was anymore. I had grown out of old habits, but I wasn't quite ready to become the new me yet. There was a sense of being in between worlds. But heaven was making me better in that space between. It taught me who I was not by what other people thought of me, but by the identity that God had woven into me from the start. As soon as the new identity was set in stone, relationships, opportunities, money, and a sense of purpose started to fall into place. You, chosen one, are going through the same thing. Heaven is telling you what your real name is. You might start to feel like you know more, even if you don't have proof. You are becoming more spiritual in this way. Your gut will speak more clearly. You will be able to make better decisions. Your inner peace will lead you more clearly than voices from the outside. These events are not happening by chance. They are supernatural tools that are being turned on inside you. Heaven is giving you the tools you need to rise. To get to the next level of your life, you need to be able to hear clearly, make smart decisions, and act with courage. Blessed one, you feel more sure of yourself now. Your first thoughts may be strange because you spent so many years doubting yourself, your skills, and your gifts. But now the truth is coming out from heaven. You were never not good enough. You were just getting bigger. You were just getting ready for a task that would require you to be mature, compassionate, and spiritually strong. There will be changes in how you talk about your dreams, how you deal with problems, and how you walk around. This sure of itself is not pride. It is in line. It's okay if people around you can't explain how they can tell when you're in touch with your true self. Some people will be drawn to your light. Some people might be scared by it. Don't get smaller. Do not turn down the lights. Don't feel bad about becoming the person God made you to be. Some people's insecurities will be shown by your change, but it will also shape the lives of many others. Heaven isn't raising you up to get praise. Heaven is putting you in charge of something. Chosen one, your spirit is getting ready to show up. You are about to enter a time when your dreams will start to come true, both spiritually and physically. Plans will be made from ideas. Things that were planned will happen. Breakthroughs will happen because of actions. And big steps forward will become proof. Things, people, and times are coming together in heaven in a way that makes it clear that God is with you on your journey. Stay surrendered as all of this goes on. Stay open to learning. Stay in touch with the still, small voice inside you. Let heaven continue to shape who you are, increase your abilities, and make your judgment sharper. You are not stepping into a moment. You are stepping into a mantle. It is the unfolding of your divine purpose, your supernatural potential, and the future that your fate has planned for you. As you walk, choose one, lift your head, take deep breaths, and be brave. Heaven isn't just getting you ready, it's showing you off. You have been chosen. As you move into the next level of your awakening, I want you to fully understand the spiritual meaning of the season you are entering. This is more than just a chapter of change. It's a crossing of the divine. You are stepping away from the things that used to limit you and into the vast, unknown territory of your true mission. The inner changes you've been experiencing aren't just random mood swings. They're signs that heaven is getting ready to reveal more of your purpose. Your life is being rearranged so that you can handle the big things that are about to happen. Even if the road seems strange, your spirit knows exactly where it wants to take you. There have been nudges and whispers inside you that something bigger is getting close. Sometimes, these whispers made people excited. At other times, they caused worry. A quiet knowing has stayed with you through it all. An inner conviction that won't let you settle for an ordinary life. It's not pride that I feel this way. Honor is what it is. Realize that you were made for more, meant for more, or designed for more. As much as you try to fight it, doubt, or put things off, heaven has marked you to make an impact. The calling kept following you even when you tried to play down your abilities. In your dreams, it spoke to you and tugged at your heart. It kept coming back to you in your spirit. Picked one. The awakening of your spiritual authority is one of the most powerful changes that are happening inside of you right now. Now you know that what you say matters, that your presence changes the mood, and that obeying opens the door to blessings. This power is not something you earned. You were given it to you. It was a part of who you were long before you fought your first battle. The hard times you went through only showed you what was already there, and now heaven is amplifying what was hidden. A lot of the fights you had in past seasons weren't really threats to your life. They were threats to your potential. The enemy knew what kind of person you were becoming before you did. The people who were against you were reacting to your fate, not to your weakness. Every bad thing that happened to you was meant to scare you, shut you up, and make you believe that you didn't have any power. But each time you got back up, fought through the pain, and held on to hope, even though you had been let down, you showed that the calling on your life was stronger than the storms that tried to stop it. That victory, whether it was seen or not, may not have been clear to you at the time, but it has helped you gain the spiritual authority you now have. You are being called to broaden your vision by the rising authority inside you. You are being led into a place where small thoughts don't belong. Fear doesn't have the power to speak louder than purpose, and old fears don't belong. It's heaven when you open your mind to possibilities that seem too big, unrealistic, or overwhelming at first. You are being asked to trust more than what your present shows you. Believe more than what your past has taught you, and imagine more than what your present circumstances suggest. We're not just wishing for this. This is an alignment of the prophets. Before something happens, destiny always shows up in a vision. This has happened to me on my own journey. There were times when my dreams seemed too big for my abilities, and the vision God gave me seemed impossible in light of the life I was living. Still, heaven answered every time I let go of my fear and followed the calling. New doors opened. Supplies showed up out of the blue, and divine connections showed up, not because I was good at it, but because I wanted to. Ready to believe, prepare to grow, and open up. Chosen one, your willingness is what makes you the best this season. Heaven doesn't need you to be perfect. Being open is needed. Your abilities will grow as your vision does. You'll feel more grounded even when things are uncertain. Braver even when you don't know what's going on, and sure of your steps. Even when you can't see the whole path ahead. This confidence wasn't built up on its own. It was made by the Spirit. You feel better when you know you're not walking alone. The timing, alignment, and orchestration of your every move are all guided by God. Heaven not only tells you what to do, it also makes the path you walk on. You who have been chosen should know that you are not stepping up just for yourself. You are being put in a position to change, build, lift, restore, and start transformation in other people. Your calling will have an impact on people's lives, the environment, and even the lives of people who will come after you. Your potential to become a billionaire is not based on money. It shows how much harm was done. You are being taught how to wisely use resources, take advantage of opportunities, and use your influence with grace. That's why your inner world has been being built. Before letting destiny happen, heaven builds character. Trust the whispers inside you as you move forward. Trust what is happening. Believe that God is pushing you into new territory. Your old self would never have believed it was possible. You're not the same person you were before. You are waking up to your power, your identity, your clarity, and your purpose. Soon, the changes that have already happened inside you will start to show in the outside world. Chosen one, keep the door open. Keep an open mind. Stay in line. Your next level is about to become clear, and nothing in heaven or on earth can stop what God has planned for your life. As you go further along this journey, chosen one, I want you to know that this season isn't just about growth. It's about the divine being shown. Heaven is showing you parts of yourself that were hidden by fear or self-doubt in order to stay alive. You are becoming a version of yourself that has always been there, in spirit, just waiting for the right time to come out. Now is that time. Old habits, places, and limits are being taken away from you because they can't live with the person you are becoming. Sometimes this separation may feel awkward, but it's actually God's way of keeping you safe, by keeping you away from anything that would dim your light or put off your destiny. There may be times in your life right now when you feel like spiritually moving faster, like time is moving faster around you. It only takes days to do things that used to take months. Conversations that were heavy before now feel like they have a point. Connections that used to drain you now just slip away. This shows that heaven is changing the order of events in your life. You are moving from being in delay to being in alignment. Even though you might not fully understand how fast things are changing, your spirit knows that it's not by chance. It's how things are meant to go. When heaven says, it's time for you to move forward, nothing can stop that divine push. Chosen one, this is also the time of year when heaven is making your inner voice sound better. At one point, the noise around you seemed louder than the guidance inside you. But that is now changing. Your intuition is getting stronger. Your judgment is getting better. You are learning the difference between fear and wisdom, doubt and divine hesitancy, and the difference between an impulse and a direction. This inner clarity is something that only people who are getting ready for more responsibility can get from heaven. You will feel more confident going through doors that used to scare you if you learn to trust that still, small voice inside you. In my own life, there have been times when the whisper inside me didn't make sense. There were times when I had to leave relationships I cared about, chances that looked good, or places that felt like home. At first, it felt like a loss, but in the end, heaven showed that what seemed like a closed door was actually a divine reroute. After I obeyed that whisper, something bigger would happen. You, the chosen one, are going through the same thing right now. That pull inside you is not confusion. It is a suggestion. Your life will become more in line with your true purpose the more you follow it. The awakening of spiritual boldness is another change you are going through this season. It's not arrogance to be this brave. It is a holy trust. It comes from knowing that God is behind you, that your steps are planned, and that your purpose is strong. You might start to speak with more authority. Do things you used to be afraid to do, or go into places you didn't think you were ready for. This is because heaven is removing the fear that used to hold on to who you are. You're changing into someone who moves with purpose, knows their worth, and knows that following a plan is more important than what other people think. Picked. 1. Doors are opening for you now because you were ready, not just because you are ready. Every problem you solved, every heartbreak you went through, and every lesson you learned has given you the strength, compassion, and knowledge you need for this promotion. Heaven doesn't waste pain. Every tear you shed watered the ground of your fate. Every setback made your foundation stronger. Every setback taught your spirit to trust in ways that logic could never do. This is the time of year when the meaning of your past will finally become clear. Things that seemed strange at first will start to make sense. What felt heavy before will now feel right. There were never a bunch of random events in your story. It was a divine curriculum that made you ready to make an impact. Also, this is the time of year when heaven is increasing your power. People will start to see how valuable you are before you even say a word. You will go into places where your presence is important. You will be given tasks that will push you, help you grow, and require you to work from your higher self. Do not be afraid of these chances. They show that heaven has faith in you. They show that you're ready. The part of you that didn't believe you were valuable is gone. The version of you that is standing here right now is ready to step boldly into the fullness of your calling. Chosen one, cheer up. Everything is coming together. Things are going as planned. You are on a path that is much bigger than anything you could have imagined. Believe in the process. Believe in the timing. Have faith in the change that is happening inside you. Heaven isn't just moving around you. It's going through you. And soon, everyone will see how the promise made over your life comes true. As you move deeper into your awakening, chosen one, I want you to know that heaven is not only changing your inner world, but also getting the outside world ready to accept you as you are. There is a change going on around you that matches the change going on inside you. Places that used to feel normal are now becoming spiritually charged. Conversations that seemed unimportant at first now have a divine meaning. Meetings that seemed random at first are now seen as divine appointments. This is because you are entering a level of purpose where nothing is random, nothing is wasted, and nothing has no meaning. For you, the veil between the real world and the supernatural is getting thinner, making it easier to see guidance, direction, and confirmation. And as the veil continues to thin, you may notice that you can pick up on spiritual signals better. You have stronger feelings. You can feel changes coming before they happen. You can tell someone's intentions without them having to explain them. That is not too much thinking. That is spiritual intelligence. Your spirit is learning to see patterns, warnings, invitations, and confirmations that other people might miss. There is nothing bad about being sensitive. It's a gift. It keeps you from missing moments of perfect timing or getting caught in traps meant to take your attention away. When you become more aware, you have a bigger responsibility to pay attention to what you feel. Trust the impressions that are made on your heart and act with faith when the Spirit tells you to. You are now entering a place where alignment is everything. Chosen one. There are big effects on your life from the people you hang out with, the places you visit, and the energy you let into your life. Before heaven raises someone, it cleans their circle. You may notice that some relationships are drifting apart, not because of a fight, but because they no longer fit with your path. People who bring your purpose to life push you to grow and understand your spiritual language without you having to explain. It may draw you to them. These people are not accidents. They are meant to be together. They come from heaven to strengthen your calling, clear your vision, and help you rise. During some parts of my journey, it was hard for me to let go of people from my past. I used to think that being loyal meant staying connected even when it was draining me. But I learned that not everyone who started with me was meant to end with me. When I finally let go of those attachments, heaven sent me new relationships that helped me grow faster, saw more clearly, and were in line with my divine mission. Picked one, the same thing will happen to you. Let go with grace, receive with openness, and let heaven change your relationships so that they prepare you for how big your calling is. Your emotional mastery is getting stronger, which is another big change you are going through right now. You are learning to handle your emotions with intelligence instead of anger. Things that used to bother you now teach you. Words that hurt you in the past now show you the truth. Problems that used to overwhelm you now make you stronger. Being emotionally stable doesn't mean not having any feelings. It means being spiritually mature. Heaven is making sure that your inner world is stable so that the outside world can't shake you. You are becoming someone who can stand firm even when things are uncertain. Someone who can anchor other people just by being anchored yourself. Chosen one, your ability to lead will improve as you become better at controlling your emotions. People are watching you, whether you know it or not. What they are watching is how you handle stress, make choices, carry yourself, and deal with problems. You are changing into a living example of what it looks like for someone whose life has been touched by God and transformed. Being a leader isn't about having a position. It's about being present. And every day your presence gets stronger, more grounded, and more powerful. You might not feel ready for this much power, but heaven doesn't want you to be perfect. They just want you to be willing. Every leader with a divine calling has been through times when they weren't sure what to do, when they didn't know if they were good enough, and when they didn't know if they were qualified. But what makes the difference between those who rise and those who stay is their willingness. And you, chosen one, have shown heaven that you are ready by sticking with it, having faith, and obeying. Heaven is now responding by giving you more land. There will be more opportunities in your life as your influence grows. Few will sneak in through open small doors that lead to much bigger rooms. Others will come out of nowhere, surprising you with when and how big they are. Do not be afraid of these chances. Don't be afraid of them. Trust that if heaven put them in front of you, it already knows how to handle them. Your voice will be important in ways you never thought possible as we move into a new season. Your story will move people. Your advice will help them. And just being around, you will change the mood. Chosen one, stand tall in this truth. You are not taking this step up by yourself. You will win in the future, because the same God who helped you through the hard times is also leading you. Be brave, be clear, and know that you are exactly where you need to be in this sacred unfolding as you move forward. As we move into the last part of your unfolding, chosen one, I want you to feel the weight and wonder of what heaven is finishing inside you. You're not the same person you were when you started this trip. The layers of doubt, fear, and limits that used to hold you back have been shed. You've been through valleys that tested your strength and spiritual peaks that made your view bigger. God has been shaping you into someone who can carry influence, wealth, and purpose with grace through it all. You are entering the final stage of a divine process that has shaped your personality, made your spirit stronger, and brought your calling to life in all its glory. During this season, you'll start to notice that everything around you changes when you're there. Opportunities will come your way. Blessings will know who you are. People who didn't pay attention to you before will notice how different you are now. This is because the way you've changed inside has changed your spiritual frequency. The outside world needs to change to reflect that you are aligning with a higher purpose. Things that used to push you away will start to make room for you. What seemed impossible at first will now go smoothly. This is not a mistake. It is divine timing that is making real what heaven has already said about your life. You have dreams that are no longer far away, chosen one. They look like plans. Heaven is giving you the focus, determination, and patience to make them come true. You'll start to get ideas. Solutions to problems will show up before they get out of hand. And creative inspiration will strike just when you need it. Together with your obedience, this is heaven. Heaven moves when you do. Heaven speeds up your steps when you act in faith. You are no longer just running on human effort. You are working together with divine power, which makes you unstoppable. But with more power comes more responsibility. People have given you power that will affect more than just your own life. This season, every choice you make has weight, not because you feel pressured, but because you have a reason for making it. Heaven wants you to be wise, humble, and honest in your actions. The wealth that is coming your way is not just for your own benefit. It's meant to flow through you and into the world, helping others heal, find opportunities, and change. You're not just rising, you're turning into a way for heaven to move. When I think about my own journey, I remember times when I wasn't sure if I was ready to do what I felt called to do. I wasn't sure if I was strong, smart, or brave enough. But every time I took a step forward, even when I was shaking, heaven gave me what I needed. I learned that being ready is not a feeling. It's a position of giving up. You were chosen, and even though you might not feel ready, heaven sees you as ready. Believe that. Focus on that. You will get to the promised land with the help of the same God who led you through the desert. The last part of your transformation is about taking on a body. You must now walk in your purpose. It is not enough to know what it is. It's not enough to just feel the call. You have to do something about it now. Take a stand. Make a decision. Live with purpose. Let your life show the truth of who you are now that you have been chosen, anointed, and put in touch with your divine purpose. As time goes on, each step you take shows that you are no longer limited by who you were, but by who you are becoming. Chosen one, the road ahead of you is full of options. There will be miracles for you. You will get favor. You will be surrounded by provision. Today you start a new journey that will not be shaped by your past, but by your purpose. Be humble and brave as you take this truth in. Trust yourself and give in as you walk into it. There is a place ready for you in heaven. Now get up and take your place. You're all set. You are in sync. You have been picked. As this holy moment comes to a close, chosen one, let your spirit sense the truth rising within you. Now is your appointed Kairos time. This is a divine window when heaven is sending you clarity, favor, and supernatural transfers. You have reached this point because of everything you have been through. Your journey has not been wasted. Anointed one, the gift inside you is awakening. The mantle around you is getting stronger, and the Creator himself is opening the way in front of you. Take this blessing right now. May your faith grow stronger, your vision get clearer, and your steps be guided with supernatural accuracy. May all the doors that lead to your goal open quickly, and may all the tools that are meant to help you rise quickly get into your hands. You're not going to leave this moment the same. You have been marked by heaven, given power, and set in motion. Move forward with respect, thanks, and a big sense of what's to come. The transfer of divine power has already begun. You who have been chosen, share your Amen in the comments if this word moved you. Stay connected to this place of truth. Until we meet again, stay faithful and hopeful. And remember that your destiny to become a billionaire is already happening. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, You can find our guided e-books and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.